Okay, so getting your floor plan prepared for presentation is sort of a two-step process. So I'm going to do this over two videos. The first one, we've got to sort of get your floor plan ready to export. So make it look as close to how we want it to look on our poster. And then the second step is we've got to bring it into Illustrator to convert it into a file format which we can use in the software which we're going to use to create the poster. So first step is we probably want to modify these walls so that they're black lines instead of white lines or hollow lines. So with walls, easiest way to do that is to edit type, and under the graphics here, if this isn't already black, the color, change that to black. But otherwise, this should be set to solid fill, and OK, and apply. In my design, I've got two different types of walls. I've got stud steel on the inside, so I'm going to have to change both of those types. So exactly the same way. So just change them both to solid fill. Apply. You might need to do that to other various elements as you go around, but for the most part, okay. So also I've got to make sure I've got my labels on my spaces, try to keep them all the same size and make them nice and centered. The other thing I will need to do is I want to change the color of my green model lines if I'm going to keep them. So in this example, the best way to change that, you go here to visibility and graphics, edit, and scroll down this long list. There's one called lines. And model lines are a type of line called lines. And so just change, override the graphics on the lines, and that is going to be a black. And okay, when you apply, my green model lines, all of them should turn black. You might get the odd component or two, like family, which will have a bit of color in it, but it's probably not worth chasing some of those elements. The other thing you want to do is get rid of anything that you don't want in your export. So things like these elevation views. For this example, for this apartment project in Year 9, you don't need elevation views. So you can just delete them straight out. It saves you deleting them out afterwards in Photoshop, or Illustrator rather. You also probably want to hide these elements. So I'm just going to control, select both of those spaces, right click, hide in view elements, because I don't really want them in the model, in the floor plan. Now, other areas you might want to refine or simplify might be things like the kitchen. Like I might not need to show every single cupboard in this kitchen, and so I might hide all the base cabinets. So hide in view, I'll just hide that category. And I could just get rid of my countertop accident. So I'm going to simplify that space if I need to. Okay, so this is pretty much ready to export out. As I said, I'd probably label up some of these spaces a bit better or furnish them a bit better. But this is ready to go into Illustrator. So the best way to do this is to create a new sheet. It doesn't matter which one. I just go no template and OK. And we're just going to drag our level 1 view in here. Done. Alrighty, so that's, I'll give it a name just so that I gotta find it later on. And we'll call it Floorplan. Okay. Probably want to remove the viewport, so no title on there. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to export this sheet. So if we go up to File, wait for the spinning wheel, export, and we're going to go to CAD format, and you can do either a DWG or a DXF. I prefer DXF, so I'll click on that one. So we can choose what we're going to export, and that's going to be this floor plan, this sheet. And what I also want to change as well, under this little icon here, is I want to go across the colors and change this, instead of being index colors, which changes the color of a whole bunch of different elements. It looks like a rainbow when you bring it into Illustrator. So just change it to specific or specified in view. So that means it will be just the black lines which we specified. Now, of course, if you wanted to change everything up to a different color, we can do that in Illustrator. So if you wanted all your lines to be red or white or something else, we can do all that in Illustrator. But I would recommend just change everything to black here. We can change it up in Illustrator afterwards. Okay, we're going to go next. We don't need to save the step. And I'm just going to save mine onto my desktop. I'll call it apartmentb.dxf. In my next video, I'll talk you through how to get into Illustrator and modify this and export this out so you can use it in Canva or Photoshop or whatever program you want to use. All right.